Did you know that in the Eggcellent Black Mesa, you can find a can of worm juice? What is a can of worm juice? Well, let's find out. So shooting the can of worm juice will cause these giant worms to burst out. I bet you didn't expect that. Hello and welcome to Hidden Video Game Details. In today's video we are blown away in Starfield, we make some very mature phone calls in Cyberpunk 2077, and we find more weird skeletons in Fallout 4. Make sure to leave your suggestions in the comments down below, and if you're feeling extra kind, please consider clicking subscribe if you haven't already. Anyway, without further delay, let's get started. Right, let's begin today's video with Fortnite. Now, we last covered Fortnite in episode 140 of this series, where we watched a giant fish do pull-ups. Well, the first of today's Fortnite details can be seen when using the Stringles pickaxe. This cartoon-themed tool comes with a face, so the more caring among you may start to feel bad when bashing away with it, especially as if you bash too much, this will happen. So the face of Stringles will become bruised before breaking entirely. I mean, even when Stringles is broken, he still does his job, so I wouldn't feel too bad. Now, emotes are a big deal in Fortnite. They give players the chance to flex the latest TikTok dance trend on their opponents after scoring a lucky kill, which is sure to make people mad. Of course, not all emotes are TikTok cringe fests. For example, the Toasty Roast emote sees your character roasting marshmallows. Well, if you wait too long, this will happen. So after a while, the marshmallows will burn. The fact that you have to wait so long for the marshmallows to burn has me hoping that a lot of people didn't know this one. The other Fortnite detail can be seen on the side of the silenced pistol. If you take a closer look at the gun's barrel, you can see that it says shh, which for a silenced pistol does make a lot of sense. Next up is Starfield. Now, when doing battle in space, you'll sometimes be given the chance to board an enemy ship. When this happens, the ship is usually on its last legs, and more often than not, you'll be fighting in zero gravity. Well, it was when fighting on one of these ships that I noticed this. So shooting a high-powered weapon will propel your character backwards. I don't know why, but when I realised what was happening, I spent way too long just shooting each of my weapons to see how far they'd send me back. Next up is Cyberpunk 2077. Now, in the last episode of this series, we discovered the body of Anthony Gilchrist. Gilchrist was accused of being a mole by Militech employee Meredith Stout, and after seemingly confirming her suspicions, his body was dumped in an unmarked location. It was at this point that loads of you mentioned that there was a path that saw Gilchrist live. So I loaded up the mission and replayed it in a way that meant Gilchrist outed Stout as the mole, therefore saving himself in the process. Now, you might be wondering what happened to Meredith Stout. Well, if you head to this location on the map, you can find this.
Militech don't forgive. Militech don't forget.
Acquaintance of yours?
Yep. Familiar face from my past life.
So despite having her head shaved and her feet cased in concrete, it's clear that this is Meredith Stout. Again, it's really cool how the game never tells you that Meredith's body can be found here. There is no quest, no objective marker, nothing. It's just a really cool secret for players to find. Now, a big part of the new Phantom Liberty DLC in Cyberpunk 2077 is the appearance of the excellent Idris Elba. Much like Keanu Reeves, Elba has a bigger part in the DLC than I thought he would. But did you know that you can find Mr. Elba before you even start the DLC? At Malted Iguana Liquors, you can find this.
Try me.
So standing at the door, working as a bouncer, is Idris Elba's character, Solomon Reed. Now, I can already hear some of you questioning if this is meant to be Reed. I mean, loads of games reuse character models, so Cyberpunk wouldn't be the first. Well, after starting the DLC, Reed says this.
Boss man, I work the door at a club. Selection, bouncing.
Huh. That your Lilo gig? A bouncer?
It pays the bills and nets me a little disposable. Sleeper agents aren't entitled to government pay. Not even under the table.
So Reed says that his cover is that of a bouncer at a nightclub, basically confirming that the bouncer we met earlier is the same person. It's a really cool detail. The final Cyberpunk detail can be found during the Lucretia My Reflection quest. During this quest, you have to use an old phone to make a call. Oh, and side note, I think it's hilarious how Johnny has to tell V how to use a phone. Anyway, after using the phone, you can then enter any number that you like, though a couple of specific numbers will trigger call responses. First up, if you enter this phone number, this will happen.
What the?
So this song, that seems to please Johnny, is a song from another CD Projekt Red game, that being the Eggcellent Witcher 3. The other number that you can dial is this.
Oh, V.
So dialing this number, which looks suspiciously like boobies, will cause a disappointed Johnny to make a comment. It's brilliant. Right, let's end today's video with Fallout 4. Now, recently, we've been discovering some very strange skeletons in the Fallout series, but I think today's may be the strangest yet. First up, on Spectacle Island, you can find this. So in a stroke of what must be some of the worst luck imaginable, these two were indulging in some light spanking right as the bombs dropped, which makes for a very awkward discovery. The final Fallout 4 skeletons are somehow even stranger. At the Speakeasy in Concord, you can find a group of friends who are enjoying a smoke and a drink right as the bombs dropped. And I mean, let's face it, there's worse ways to go. Well, if you head upstairs, you can find this. Now, I know that we all get lonely sometimes, and if the world as you knew it was ending, perhaps you too would seek companionship in any way that you can. But surely this person had to have better options than a mannequin. Now, of course, this is weird, but if we head to the bathroom, things get even weirder. So inside the bathroom is a headless person surrounded by weapon-wielding mannequins. Now, the more curious among you may be wondering where the man's head is. Well, if we look in the toilet, you will have your answer. This is one of those situations that leaves me with more questions than answers. I mean, I take it that all of this took place before the bombs dropped. I'm also guessing that the person on the bed is the person responsible for staging the bathroom scene, which again leaves me asking why. Honestly, I don't even know where to begin with this one, so please leave your theories down below. So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then a like is really appreciated. Be sure to subscribe for more Easter eggs and details from your favourite games. Thank you all for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.